So first off, I just want to say Ha'ole Makahikiho, Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to our first Education Stream Community Meeting of 2022. My name is Tamia McCaig, and I am a project manager for Kamehameha School Strategy and Transformation Division. And I am super honored to be your chair for the education stream for Vibrant Hawaii this year. So a new role. I just stepped up in January, and I'm looking forward to serving all of you folks. And really excited about the new year and all the things that we're going to share with you folks this morning. So welcome. With that, Ku'uhiapo, could you share the slide deck, please? So we're going to start off this morning with our just one-word check-in. So if everybody could just jump in the chat and in one word or a phrase, share something that you are looking forward to in 2022. So we have deep learning from Christy, family, time, balance, turning 50, congratulations. More local food in schools, yes, farm to table, awesome. Sharing science, understanding, masklessness, I'm all for that one. Youth engagement, Kilo Mahina, Holina, Pilina, Bin Maka'ala. Understanding. Awesome, mahalo nui, guys. Thank you for sharing. We're looking forward for all of those things and more. Definitely coming from a place of wanting to learn and grow through the different work that we do here at Vibrant Hawaii. And we're excited about all of you participating with us and serving our communities and growing that. Next slide. So for those of you that aren't familiar, we also like to start all of our meetings with our grounding statement. And it's really our sort of vision here at Vibrant Hawaii. So it's a time for us to remind ourselves why we do this work. And so I may be calling on different people to help us read our grounding statement. Next slide. Vibrant Hawaii is a growing community that commits to individual and collective awamo kuleana to increase equitable opportunities to build wealth, an abundant reservoir of human, social, natural, and financial capital that we continue to draw upon. Susie, could you read the next slide, please?
Our kuleana is to convene conversations so that all va'a can travel toward a common goal, build community awareness, will, and action from the foundation of our shared values, shift deficit narratives, systems, and policy that perpetuate poverty and inequity, and implement strategies that are developed and resourced by the community and reflect Native intelligence. That's the longest sentence. I think did that get revised? Tanya?
No.
Oh, okay.
Mahalo,
I guess I just never read that one before.
Thank you so much. Julie, can you read the next one for us, please?
Sure. We value equity and belonging, and we demonstrate this by being willing to let go of our assumptions and biases about each other. Speaking up when we recognize barriers that prevent us from participating, prospering, and reaching our full potential. Promoting full family engagement and participation, and raising our own and our collective belief that wealth, abundance, and prosperity is not a pie. More for others does not mean less for ourselves.
Caroline, could you read the next one for us, please?
Yes, we value aloha, and we demonstrate this by acknowledging that aloha is unique to Hawaii. It is from this place. By valuing aloha, we value the vast and unique genius of the people of Hawaii, and we prioritize the knowledge, skills, and solutions of its people, recognizing that aloha is not an action modeled to us by our environment. That aloha is an action modeled to us by our environment, and we validate its aloha through aloha aina and our willingness to suffer a little so that no one has to suffer a lot.
Mahalo, Caroline. Kalihua, could you read the next one for us?
Sure. We value awamo kuleana, and we demonstrate this by a commitment to empowerment rooted in our belief that everyone has skills and abilities but needs circumstances and opportunities to express them, promoting language that recognizes a person's abilities, and shared ownership and accountability. If any of us stumbles, we all fall because we are all connected.
Mahalo, Kalihua. Shailin, could you read the next one for us, please?
We value flexibility and learning that leads to transformation, and we demonstrate this by being honest without shame. When we don't know, being courageous, adaptive leaders, even when it calls for difficult conversations, and even when our outcomes look like failure, demonstrating ahonui and ha'a, damn it, ha'a ha'a, as we hold tension to achieve change, and practicing makavalu and acknowledging that we hold one piece that is a part of something bigger. I'm not the best with Hawaiian, so sorry about that.
No, thank you so much. Mahalo nui for sharing with us. Really appreciate it. So thank you everybody for participating in our grounding statement as we move to our next agenda item. So just a little backtrack, just a couple of seconds. So we're starting this year off with a new setup for our community stream meetings. And so what we'd like to do is we'd like to call upon all of our core team leads at the moment. And these are core teams that are doing work under the education stream. And so there's some really exciting projects going on. Not only is this a time for them to share with you what they're doing, but it's also a time for you to listen and learn. And maybe if you're interested in what the team is doing, or maybe somebody else is interested in the work these folks are doing. So it's also a time to connect with the conveners. So with that said, our first up, I believe, is Ku'uhiapo and Kuhi Kuhi.
Yeah, mahalo Tami, mahalo nui loa. Aloha everybody, good morning, happy Wednesday. I didn't realize it was Wednesday yet. Yeah, so my name is Ku'uhiapo for those of you who don't know me. I am happy to see some familiar faces, people who are returning, and new faces as well. So welcome. Yeah, I am the convener for the Kuhi Kuhi Mentorship Program, one of the core teams underneath the education stream. Kuhi Kuhi Mentorship Program is essentially a program that is focused, or it is a program that offers and provides tools for young adults in terms of resume building, interviewing preparations, learning about the preparation period, and so much more. This program was launched this month, and it will go for the rest of the year. And it is we're basically, this mentorship program, we're looking for mentors and mentees. These mentees are young adults, meaning anybody who is recently graduated from high school, who are currently in college. Those individuals who are trying to get into the work field, trying to break through, but don't necessarily know how to do it, don't really know how to effectively make and build a resume or prepare for an interview. This program is very close to my heart just because I am a young adult, and my own experience going into the work field has been hard, just like my other friends as well, where we had to learn everything on our own. And we didn't really know if there were any resources outside of the community as well as in our own schools. And so I'm very happy to be convening this and having my team just launch this this year. Yeah. So what we're trying to do right now, we are trying to reach out to as many young adults as possible who we would think benefit from this this program, and also mentors as well. Mentors meaning anybody who are professionals inside of the work field. Doesn't really matter what field. It can be in health, it can be in retail, but we really want to connect our young adults with professionals in the community, and hopefully after the program still have the connection, and that's something that I've talked to many of my friends, my own peers, and I always ask them, like, what do you wish you had going into the workforce? And a really big point or topic that they brought up is they wish they had professional connections. They really do. Not only as reference points, but also, just going into it, going into the work field, they really wish they knew how to communicate with their boss or how to communicate with employees. And so to have that is very important. So if you are interested in becoming a mentor, please, by all means, reach out to me with that email at the bottom of the screen. And I'm happy to help you with next steps. If you know anybody, a family member, a niece, a nephew, maybe even your own kid, who may benefit from a mentorship program such as this, please, by all means, send them our way, and we would love to connect them with a mentor in the community. I think now I can just open it up to questions if anybody have any questions about this program. Okay. Mahalo, everybody. Thank you.
Mahalo, Ku'uhiapo. Thank you for sharing. And if anybody has questions, yeah, please feel free to email Ku'uhiapo after their meeting or anytime. Next up, we have Digital Literacy Project. And our convener, as you guys see on the screen, is Noel Marin. He was unable to be with us this morning. He unexpectedly got called to another meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and share some updates, but I also believe maybe one or two of his team is here. So please feel free to jump in as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Do you guys see the digital literacy side? Yes. Okay. So the core team is called Digital Literacy Demonstration Project. And they have been doing a project around getting equipment and teachings out to Kupuna. And so they have been working, they have people, instructors that are doing the digital literacy. And so it's really been a reach out to really get those people who are not able to, or do not have access to technology and are just lacking basic skills, getting it out there, providing the service and providing them with equipment. And so right now, this is the overall status of the project. They are at 10% of their goal, which was 500 registrants. They're still having a little bit of difficulty with their registration rates during the holiday and then the COVID surge, as a lot of people and programs right now are also experiencing. They have 20 in Puna and 18 in Ka'u, so that's super exciting. And they now have coverage in Hamakua, Hilo, Kona, and they are pending Puna Mauka. So they have equipment to use for the project. So they have adequate available. So part of the program is this program provides a laptop to any of their participants. They are planning on moving forward. They are planning to kind of ramp up some marketing and some ad campaigns to get some more registered. So if any of you know of any kupuna or anybody that's in need of a digital literacy program, that one would provide them with access to technology and then provide the basic trainings of how to navigate digital literacy, please reach out to Noel with those referrals. Kupuna Market, this is vouchers for Kupuna to use in their farm to car program. And they're sharing this program information with East Hawaii trainees, and they share and do pickup and deliveries. So this is a flyer that perhaps we can also share out to our email listserv.
I was involved in this project before it became a project. And so one thing that I see it's a little bit different is people who require, learning digital skills. It's not just Kupuna. It can be people of all ages, really. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering, did you change the focus to be mostly Kupuna or Kupuna only? Or how did we get to that narrowing?
So the focus is not only on kupuna, but we do acknowledge that kupuna are that demographic that doesn't really that needs extra help in learning these skills. But it's definitely it's open to anybody who needs help in learning it as well. But again, we have acknowledged that kupunas are the demographic that needs extra help. So that's kind of where we're catering it. Yeah.
Oh, and Mina asked, where can interested folks access the application? And I was looking for it yesterday on the Vibrant Hawaii website. So thank you, Tamia, for putting the link, because I was looking for it and I actually could not find it, but I might have missed.
Yeah, so if you go to get involved to the link, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, and it says to RSVP to connect to an instructor. So there's a little box that says digital literacy workshop. Yeah. So if you RSVP, that will connect whoever's interested with the instructor. The instructor will then reach out and go through all of the onboarding or questions that they have. I believe that's how they're streamlining that. So it's not necessarily an application, it's just this RSVP to share your information, and then an instructor will get a hold of you.
My understanding also that it's super basic, like, you know, how to turn it off and on, how to set up an email. So, I mean, when we're talking digital literacy, we're talking like from the very beginning. So just for clarification on that.
Yes, mahalo.
Aloha, everyone. I apologize for being late. And I'm also going, I don't know, because I'm late to the party, maybe you already got this, but sometimes it's hard to keep track of everyone's email when they're like, if you're interested in this, email me here. But if you're interested in this, email this other person. We have a one-stop link. It's on our website. If you just go to our Get Involved, you'll not only see all the workshops and everything we have, but there is one link that you can click on specifically for the education stream. And from there, you can specify what core team you're interested in, and we will connect you up. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I missed the slide with the person's email, or I don't know where I wrote it down. It's all there on vibranthawaii.org, and everything's there. So we are very excited about this. And I am first and foremost so excited about the name. And you guys know how I feel about names, about words. He mana koka olelo, and I'm absolutely thrilled that this initiative finally has a name that resonates what it's about. So Papa in Olelo Hawaii is not only translated to mean class, but it also means foundation. And for us here in this core team, it is also an acronym, because, you know, we all love our acronyms. And it's an acronym for Passion and Purpose Academy. Building off what Caroline just shared, what we learned over the past couple of years is there is so much capacity, skill, and talent in our community that oftentimes is overlooked and not translated accurately into a resume because it hasn't been awarded by a credentialed institution. It is nonetheless valuable asset to a workplace. And when people bring this different kinds of skill sets and knowledge, and we just wanted a way to be able to capture that and a way to be able to have it as value added in their resumes as they're looking for work. Also, what we recognize is there is so much ike knowledge that we have in our community that unless you have specific kinds of credentials, alphabets, and everything, sometimes you're not afforded the opportunity or the platform to be able to share that with others. And we wanted to get back to a way of recognizing knowledge and knowledge sharing as a pathway to what we said in our vision of lifelong learning opportunities. We wanted to be able to add opportunities for folks to be able to engage in that work. And so Passion and Purpose Academy is where we have landed. Where we're at right now with this project is, in addition to a fabulous name and an incredible design that really tells of our intention. And so for those of you who understand the meaning of plants, in the intention behind choosing Lawa'e to represent our initiative here. So much thought and intention, beauty. We are working with Ken Wong, who is amazing. and making things happen on the back end so that the user experience is just as meaningful as and rich as our intention behind this. The first few learning opportunities that we will be offering within the first or second quarter of this year is an Aloha Aina opportunity. Our intention behind that is to instill a sense of ownership and belonging in this work of, or in this practice of Aloha Aina. And so we've worked with several community practitioners. And what we came to understand as we unfolded all of what they were sharing is that oftentimes there's a disconnect of feeling belonging, connection, and ownership and identity to this practice. And so how do we begin to unwrap that? And how do we begin to build those bridges so that more people are connected to that work? So that would be our first one, Aloha Aina. Another first that we were going to be repurposing content off of is, some of you may know that under the economy stream, we had in a 6-week business development program that was shared last year. They're going to be repurposing their content and putting it into this platform here. Again, if you are somebody that is interested in unfurling and unleashing opportunities for sharing lifelong learning or for accessing lifelong learning, then please go onto that link, connect with us. We are still in an early design phase. And so welcome the creativity and collaboration and input from folks. Mahalo.
Julie, do you have any updates that you'd like to share?
So the purpose of this is really when we looked at what our community wanted, you know, when we did the focus groups and talked to communities several years ago and asked what vibrant education looks like for our community. The things that they talked about, like Aina-based or holistic, innovative, things like this, we thought it would serve our community really well to have an opportunity to spotlight some of those efforts and take them out of kind of maybe silos where people are working on these amazing projects, but others on the island may not know about it. And so trying to bring some of these projects together to showcase them and look at how we can not only learn about them, but also look at sustainability and if there are any ways in which Vibrant Hawaii can serve and support the sustainability of these efforts that are really what our community wants and needs in the educational arena. So that's the purpose of this. And we have a project being showcased in the second half of this meeting.
Mahalo, Julie. And I'm excited for our presenter today. Our next one is our internship inventory and best practices convened by Caroline, Rebecca, and Julie. Caroline, I'm gonna hand it to you.
Actually, I think I'll do the first one, and then I know there's another slide with the career navigator, and so Carolyn and I will kind of split it that way. So
okay,
these are kind of part of the similar of the same stream, and this is the first step in which we're doing an internship scan or inventory of what exists on our island for whom and what it looks like. So we're really trying to learn what is currently available, and along the way of understanding that is also learning what different organizations or businesses are doing that is working really well. So there are internships, and I see that Mina is on this call. There are internships that have really created significant change based upon the best practices that they've used and what they have learned over the years of creating really deep and meaningful impacts on young people and on our community. And so we're looking to really understand what that looks like, and then see what are some ways that we can share that information out. And we have some different ideas of what that might look like, but kind of gathering the information first is kind of where we are right now in talking to organizations and learning about what they're doing, and kind of importantly is actually for whom they're doing, because some are really limited to certain demographic. And so, if it's only for students and somebody who's in their 30s or 40s and wants to retrain, if we don't have those pathways, seeing what also might be missing and absent in the pathways for our community is also kind of an important part of the gathering of information as well. Are there any questions? Awesome. Thank you. I guess actually I should add that if you know of awesome internship programs, organizations, businesses, people who are doing this work, please do reach out to one of us and let us know so that we can connect with them and add them, to our list. That'd be awesome.
Mahalo, Julie. And I believe Caroline is up next.
Hi, thank you, Julie. So the Career Navigator is a nascent project, something that is not yet rolled out, but in the design stage. And its principle is pretty much modeled along the same template as many other Vibrant Hawaii projects, which is you take community members that are embedded in diverse areas in the community. By diverse, I mean it can be remote, it can be rural, it can be towns. And just like for the hubs and other activities that we've had, you impart new skills and you train these community members to in turn offer services and train other community members. So the idea is the hope that we can spread and infuse communities with ever more skills. And these skills that we're talking about here is coaching and guiding in terms of getting the education to be on the path to a successful career. By education, sometimes it can be school, sometimes it can be some other ways, some hands-on ways, but to have trusted coaches and mentors available to a great proportion of the population that can help guide youth, young adults, or teenagers into their next steps, we view as something really valuable. So if you are interested in joining this core team, please contact me or Julie or Rebecca Choi, and we'd love to have more input and more knowledge in this future project, which we're hoping can roll out in the spring.
So the last core team that we have an update is our Aina Aloha core team, which has been part of the Vibrant Hawaii education stream since the beginning. We did take a pause last year, but we're back together again. And I would just like to share with you folks, the goal of our core team is to continue to work on the normalization of Aina Aloha as a worldview. And Aloha Aina is normal as a normalized practice. And so with that in mind, our strategy is to continue to connect Hawaii Island residents with opportunities to understand and explore Aina Aloha and normalize the practice. And so with that, what we landed on that we were going to focus on this year is providing community with opportunities and workshops to engage and learn about the practices of Aina Aloha. And with that, I'm super excited to share that we had our first workshop yesterday. And I wasn't able to attend, but I think some folks on the call were able to attend. We had a workshop with Pelika Andrade and Mahina. And so we will continue that. We are looking towards, we will have 4 workshops throughout the year, 1 in each quarter. And I'm seeing comments here that it was amazing. So super bummed I couldn't be there, but exciting. Part of our community connection with these workshops is that we will be having, I believe there will be a community of practice for 4 weeks after each workshop for people to stay engaged and stay in touch and continue on that learning journey together. So we're really, really excited about the launch of our new series. And our next one in second quarter, we're looking at doing a workshop on Kilo. So stay tuned and keep in touch. And as Janice said, everything will be on our website. And we have Ku'uhiapo, our fabulous, I don't know what to call him, coordinator, assistant, but I think his official title is ambassador, but he's been doing a fabulous job for us. And so look out for his emails when we get when we start to do advertisement and when we know, when we set the date for our next workshop. And as with all the others, if you're interested in joining this core team, we welcome you. And please go on the Vibrant Hawaii website and click the RSVP tab, I think is how you do it, Janice, and we will connect with you. So yeah, and we're open to have anybody who's wanting to engage in this work with us. Mahalo nui. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Julie to introduce our guest speaker for today.
Mahalo, Tamia. So I'm really happy today to have guest speaker Kalima Kinney, who serves as the principal for Volcano School. And they have partnered with multiple organizations, but I see Sarah Knox here from the Akaka Foundation, who is functioning as kind of a key partner and project support. And so they are working on the Hawaii K through 12 Research and Development Consortium, which includes 20 charter and Department of Education schools on all 5 islands, well, on 5 islands. The purpose of the RDC is to build a network of schools, educators, scientists, and industry experts to expand experiential, culturally relevant learning and conservation action. RDC members collaborate to develop Hawaii-based science curriculum resources, provide professional development for teachers, and expand citizen science opportunities for students and research. So Kalima serves, as I said, as the principal and has since 2015. She's worked in administration and teaching in the Hawaii public charter school system since 2003, including 8 years at Volcano School of Arts and Sciences, followed by 3 years as the State Public Charter School Commission. Her areas of expertise include continuous school improvement, positive discipline strategies, arts and education, and working with high needs, at-risk, and special needs populations. She holds a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's in educational administration from the University of Hawaii at Manoa. So with that, I want to welcome Ms. Kinney, and we're looking forward to hearing more about this program and learning also how Vibrant Hawaii might be able to support what you're doing.
Oh, mahalo for the invitation. I think that skipped like 3 slides, so I can jump right in. Can I share a presentation just so we have something to look at? And also we have another member here who's also currently named Sarah Knox because we used her login And that's Aloha Kinney. Aloha, if you can rename yourself, if not, that's fine. And he's gonna help us out with a couple of portions of our presentation. So we have 3 of the 5 members of our core team on this today with you folks. And thank you for the invite. Now I have to find my presentation and present. This part's always tricky, huh? So I think we had a great intro there. Really, right, we're about partnering schools with scientists and industry experts for biocultural approaches to the next generation science standards. I just want to say we do envision that the RDC will expand beyond science in the future, and that we're kind of using this phenomena-based approach that NGSS uses as the kind of the foundation and the model that we would even use to, and when we expand to other content. So just, what I think we all know here, but the need and the gaps, and schools right now really need the empowerment to innovate. We need support for rigorous and relevant curriculum, and we need access to resources for our students. And Aloha, would you speak to the need that inspired this application as well regarding the impact of COVID-19?
Sure. Aloha, kako. Yeah, one of the
Oh,
inspirations.
I'm sorry. You know what? You need, you should introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Kupuna Kinney. I'm a research ecologist at the U.S. Forest Service, Institute of Pacific Island Forestry. And I've been collaborating on our GEAR grant with the state. And one of the inspirations for that for this grant was really think about the impacts of COVID-19 on the education system, but more specifically Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islander students and communities and families. In terms of how school closures and access to resources has been impacted over the last 2 years. And there's some evidence showing this is just unprecedented. What's happened to the education system through this pandemic, and I believe there's some evidence now that's showing that it is disproportionately impacting our Pacific Islander and Native Hawaiian communities, and also those with lower economic socioeconomic status. So yeah, did I miss anything, Kalima? Part of
Sorry, I was muted. Thanks, Killa. He's just jumping on, but so how was this RDC born? Well, as you can probably tell from the sharing of our last names, it was born on our lanai, because Killa and I are husband and wife, and we just kind of realized that that this is a match made in heaven for schools and science, and that we had a lot more to benefit from each other than we realized or have been utilizing. Yeah. So we formed this RDC a few years ago, in actually 2018. And then it's been expanding since then. And of course, with GEAR, we've been able to take off more. So as Julie mentioned, it's kind of 3-pronged at this point, which is around professional development for scientists and schools. I'm sorry, apparently a student is coming in my office. It's okay, we'll find a spot. Also for Hawaii-based curriculum resources and citizen science opportunities. Now, so the idea here is, behind the scenes, what we're doing is we're putting together teachers with the scientists and industry experts, as well as students directly, for creation of curriculum units, and then also for student research projects. Okay, now thirdly, the citizen science efforts actually are where students are engaging in either gathering data or analyzing data to inform research. And so that's a pretty exciting thing too. And so here was a citizen science project that we did with students collected ambrosia beetles, and the count, they learned all about ambrosia beetles and the impact that those beetles are having, or implications on the spread of rapidohia death. So that was a real successful project that we ended up involving like 16 schools in. Okay. So I think we said already, what is the RDC? We are on 5 islands, and here right now are the schools that are currently actively participating. And so you can see there the breadth. These are some of our partners, and like we mentioned already, Akaka Foundation for Tropical Forests and Teaching Change Partnership. They're our primary partners, and Sarah Knox, who's also on here, is a project manager for the whole RDC. We also are partnering, Palika Andrade is also one of our partners, so that's nice to make that connection as well. Sorry, I keep not being on the right place for changing this thing. Okay, so just some of the phenomena that we're engaging students in. One thing I would like to point out here is that last picture, and I hope you guys can see it. Are you seeing yours, the whole slides? Are you blocked? Okay, because mine is a little blocked. But if you could see that last bottom right slide, I don't know if anybody knows where this is, but if you could see what it says there, it says, oops, my fault. Okay, it says Malama I Komako Aina. Yeah. So the point of that is it doesn't say Kako Aina. It says Mako. So it means that what we mean by that is we are trying to empower schools to work with the issues in their own communities. So we're not trying to make up things that we're pushing out. We do have some of that, but to help people get started. But our goal really is that the students are finding what's relevant for them in their place. Okay. And that's what we're trying to support. These are just some of the projects, that we have going on, and they're just, each of these can go in a bunch of different directions. You'll see some of these are centered around a particular species or event or ecological state or event, while others are centered around even just the use of the technology itself, right? Such as the bioacoustics, their cameras, and 3D printers. Here is an example of a curriculum unit overview that we put together, our school, Volcano School, previously. And this is a 2nd grade unit and bundle that was developed by one of our teachers. I think I missed a slide here somewhere, so I'm just going to go back real quick. Oh, that one. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this, each of our who is involved here? Scientists, industry experts, teachers, students. So what each of these folks are responsible for and bring to the table are listed under there, but I want to give you a little bit different perspective to just say, what's in it for us? What's in it for us? So I think I'm going to speak to the education side for a second. What's in it for teachers and students? I think you can probably guess it's relevant curriculum to engage them in something that is meaningful. And also, especially for the citizen science initiatives, it actually builds efficacy, right? That they can actually do something to address the problems of their community, that there is something that can be done. And that they can do it, right? And so we really believe in students and children as citizens, not of tomorrow, but of today, with valuable contributions that they can bring to the table. Not just with, of course, the typical citizen science approach is collecting or analyzing data. but we actually are looking forward to inviting students earlier on to the table for their creativity and asking the right questions and having some creative ideas. Aloha, would you mind to just speak to us about what's in it for science? What's in it for our partners?
All right, thanks. Thanks, Kalima. Yeah, what's in it for us? So there, yeah, it's just a tremendous amount of opportunity. As Kalima mentioned earlier, just using rapid ohia death as an example, this is a fungal pathogen that's killed millions of ohia trees across the state. It's almost on every island. And it's impacting a keystone species, you know, and it's so important to the natural heritage of the islands, but also the cultural heritage of the islands. And it's really such a widespread problem. There really isn't enough agency people to do research across the entire state, you know, in every community. And so one of the really great things about this citizen science approach and collaborating with schools is many school districts span across multiple ecosystems, multiple environmental gradients, and allows for projects like the Ambrosia Beetle Collection Project to provide really valuable information about the distribution of the ambrosia beetles that are known to move the rapid ohia death fungus from tree to tree. So that's been really instrumental in our work and incredibly valuable. But I think there's, you know, moving to one of the points we made earlier about empowering the students, I think there's just an incredible opportunity just working with students and cultivating their ideas about how they think about various conservation problems, whether it be rapid ohia death or the impact of pigs on ecosystems, any number of, there's so many conservation problems. You could almost throw a rock in any direction, invasive species, all sorts of things. And I think one of the most valuable things has just been listening to the students themselves and the ideas that they have. They you know, I often find that sometimes the youngest minds have the most sort of out of the box ideas. And so it's an opportunity, it's an exchange really between scientists, teachers, and students to explore science in a biocultural way, in a way that's meaningful to people's communities and to conserving this aina that we all love so much. And I think, you know, another aspect of this too is just providing exposure to different types of technologies, different types of measuring tools. There's just an incredible opportunity to kind of very early on expose students to these different ways of analyzing and understanding our environment, from satellite imagery to to environmental DNA. And so I think there's just an incredible amount that's in it for scientists and all the way across the board. All right, I think that's my call to end. Take over all the time, but thank you.
Mahalo, thank you. Oh, I keep losing the presentation. Okay, so I want to go to this slide here, which is the just to invite you to join us. So very much like what you're doing here is what we're doing. We're just trying to put people together. We've certainly hit up some challenges with that, understanding that that's why this work is so important. And regarding the 4 buckets, I love that you folks have of the human, social, natural, and financial support. I think that we can actually both bring to you as well as benefit from human, social, and natural support, as well as some financial. We're primarily right now looking for another year of funding to continue for the next year. So I would say that would be our greatest need at this time, and our greatest contribution would be the human, social, and natural contributions. So I want to talk about specifically, and then I want to ask Sarah to chime in here too, on what are some needs, help other than, you know, the funding for another year of the RDC, is that I'm going to ask Sarah to answer this question, but one, and that we are working on a data portal. So we've hit some challenges with that because the folks that we were going to work with, it turned out wasn't going to be what we were looking for. So we're kind of back to looking for some partners on creating a data portal. This is not just for the curriculum, but for accessing the research data, such as from the cameras and things like that. Also, we are working on getting a, believe it or not, a COVID-19 scent detection dog. And so we are right now advertising for a dog handler. So put the word out if you know people were looking for this to be, you know, not a proof of concept for using dogs for scent detection in Hawaii, but also as a job development. Right now in the schools, we're piloting this in schools also for the social emotional component that the dog will bring. So Sarah, I wanted to ask you if you could also introduce yourself, and then any other needs that you would like to ask the group here.
Aloha, thank you. Great presentation, Aloha and Kalima. My name is Sarah Knox. I'm an ecologist with the Akaka Foundation for Tropical Forests, and my role with the RDC is to keep all the parts moving and moving together. So keeping the teachers connected with the scientists, connected with equipment and data, and working with an NGSS specialist, Lori Anderson from UH Manoa, so that the output that we're doing falls into our science standards. We are in the process of building, we're doing a PD with the teachers, a collaborative PD with teachers, scientists, cultural specialists, and our NGSS specialists right now, hoping to have at a minimum of 20 unit bundles from kindergarten through 12th grade come out of that. And coming up this semester, we will be launching our citizen science student research projects. So I think an ask that I would have is, if you know of any great citizen science projects that are happening that need to be connected to that large group of people to execute the data collection, that's something I'm looking for. So whether that's people who want to start one in Hawaii, that's a replication of what's happening on the mainland and we don't have represented data in Hawaii, those are good opportunities for us. Or questions that need to be answered that would use schools from around the state to collect the data. I am open to ideas or insights you have about that, because we are putting those together now and we have a few, but I don't want to miss anything. So the more people I ask, then the better outcomes we have. Kalima, did you have?
Sorry, thank you. I had a student come in my office again. It's active day. Well, I guess that's what we had information to present to you. So if you have any questions, we're happy to answer them. You know, one thing I want to say that I don't know if you guys feel this too, but I've been feeling that, you know, the whole, well, you know, resilience out of adversity. I've been feeling that the stage that we're in is like of one of potentialities, that we're exploring what potentialities are opportunities. And it just seems like a time of like great shift, and I'm really super happy to be part of it and to see all you folks here being a part of it too. So mahalo.
Thank you for that, Kalima and team. There was a question in the chat from Caroline regarding the Hawaii schools ranked 28th. Is this over 50 states? And she says, if so, that I think that might be better than in the past. Do you guys have any other data on that stat?
No, it was over 50 states, yes. And that was the most recent that we were able to obtain. So. You know, however those rankings are determined, like that's another conversation, right? Hi, Susie.
Does anybody else have any questions for the team?
I really want to thank you for coming and sharing this project. I not only love the project itself, I love the sense that the partnerships that have been developed and the reciprocity of those partnerships. So a lot of times we see partnerships kind of created somewhat transactional, right? Where it's like there's a need, and so you're reaching out with an ask. And this one, you know, I appreciate that you spoke to what is it, what's in it for our community partners, as well as what's in it for the students. And that is such an important aspect when we look at partnerships, and understanding that if everyone's giving of time and energy and expertise and, you know, all of these things, you know, making sure that everyone feels that they are giving and receiving at the same time.
Yeah, you know, that it's up when you create the relationships, it just has a life of its own then.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was another question in the chat from Uyi. What platform are you guys using for the data repository?
Well, like I said, we are looking at different options right now. So if anybody has expertise to lend, Uyi or anyone, we welcome you to talk with us. Mahalo.
Well, mahalo nui, Kalima and team for sharing with us this morning about the work that you folks are doing and just making education fun and interesting and applicable to all of our Kiki on Hawaii Island. Super exciting. Mahalo for being with us this morning. Julie wanted us to do a little activity. So I'm gonna hand it over to her to explain.
Okay, we'll see if this works. So we wanted to use Mentimeter to get some feedback from our participants today. And so if you are able to go to www.menti.com and enter the code 3345. Oh, yes. Okay. 3345. And now my chat is over. 5159. There we go. So both are in the chat. And just entering a word after learning about the educational project Hawaii K-12 Research and Development Consortium. Fill in the sentence. The RDC makes education. Like, what do you think of education when you think of this project? How is it changing it? And we'll see if this works.
Julie, we have over 5 fields. Does that mean we can put several words in?
I think so. I think when I said it, I didn't limit it. So if you want to have more than one word, that's fine as well. Yeah, so I have relevant, collaborative, data informed. Oh, are you guys seeing it as I'm seeing it when you go in, or you just see the words that you enter?
I just see the words that I entered.
When you submit it, says thank you for your participation.
Yeah, so we're not seeing. Is there something I should
Maybe
share?
you can share your screen, Julie? Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yes, now we can see it.
So this is our first time trying this, and we're learning and growing and experimenting and reiterating as we go. So we'll just give people maybe 1 minute, yeah, and see what comes up. Applicable, empowering, richer, mutual, responsive to community, engaging, innovative, fun, interesting, reciprocal, vibrant, focused on Aina, connectivity, meaningful, engaging, culturally informational, purposeful. I actually really, yeah, Caroline put a comment in the chat that I fully agree with, because I remember science being very dry and boring as a kid. And, you know, I think that's, you know, some people it grabs, some it doesn't. I was a literature major, so I went in a very different direction. But, you know, I think if we had more opportunities to do this and to connect with people who work in the field, you know, what we think of as real scientists, you know, people who are passionate, they're doing it because they're passionate about it, right? And they feel strongly about it. And so as kids are connected with those, as well as their teachers, as mentors and facilitators of these projects, and understanding that what they are doing is completely based in our community and for our community, it just makes such a difference in how they engage and what they want to give to what they're studying. So thank you for this, and I'm happy to share this if I can. We'll see. All right, thank you so much.
Mahalo, Julie. And yes, let's please try to save it. I have it up on my screen. I'm not sure if I have the same. Let's see if it comes up with all of the answers. But I'll try to save it and put it into our Vibrant Hawaii education stream stuff so we can keep it. Thank you for that. That was super fun. Something different, another way to get instant feedback. So love it. And mahalo to our guest again for joining us. Love to have this open space to learn more about what people are doing in our community, and also provide opportunity to make connections. That's why we're here, part of why we're here today. So with that said, I'd like to jump into giving you guys sort of a sneak peek of our education stream action plan for 2020. And so what I wanted to do today, first of all, is just letting you guys know, I'm going to share my screen and go over it, not in super detail, because we are getting close to the end of the day, and we have I wanted to leave space for any community announcements that people might have to share with us. But I did want to let you folks know that this education stream action plan will be, and correct me if I'm wrong, Janice, will be shared to the Vibrant Hawaii website in the next week, I think February 1st. And so you guys will have access to go back if you're interested in or would like to take a deeper dive into it, and really sit with it or read it again once it's available on the website. And so what I wanted to do today is just do a brief overview of our 2022 Education Stream Action Guide. And mahalo to the Vibrant Hawaii Backbone team, Janice and her team, for really helping us put this together. And mahalo to all the core teams for the work that they did last year and will continue to do work this year on this. And so where we started off was looking at our community gifting waypoints. And so from our community gifted waypoints, and this goes back to Vibrant Hawaii and the discussions that were had in communities about things they wanted to see in education. So based upon that and the work that we had done as streams and then core teams, we came up with our 22 indicators. And so our indicators for this year will be digital access rate for Hawaii Island residents, unemployment rate for Hawaii Island, workforce migration of Hawaii Island residents, number of career and technical education, high school diplomas, students are prepared for transition, and how do students feel about their school. And so these indicators are indicators of education on specific points in our community. And so what it says here is it describes our education stream logo. So those of you who are wondering if you're looking at the slide deck, what this means, that represents the meeting points of different streams, representing the passing and exchanging of knowledge. I will be serving as your chair this year. And I look forward to all the stuff we have in store for us. So what the rest of the action plan is it goes through each of our different core teams. And so this is the internship inventory and best practices core team. And so what the information provided in here is the waypoints, the indicators, the core team's objective, the action plans the core team has planned for the year, and then performance measures, any resources needed, and then it lists the conveners, the contributors, and collaborators. And again, this is a working document. So as things are building out and as core teams are, connecting and building upon each of these projects, things might change, such as who's available to contribute, the different collaborators that we have and resources. And so just know that, it's a living document as we do the work. And so each of our core teams has a sheet like this that talks about the work that they do. So we have one for our career navigator team, our transformational learning project, the digital literacy demonstration project. This one, again, because it's a living learning document, this one is our PAPA, our Purpose, Passion and Purpose Academy, Kuhi Kuhi, and our Aina Aloha. So that is our, in a nutshell. And like I said, I would, once it's uploaded and finalized up onto the website, please go ahead and take some time to look it up if you're interested in. If you're interested just in the specific work or the team, the core team, again, you can also find that information on the website. Please go ahead and tag one of us, one of our conveners, connect with them, talk story, around our action plans or the work that they're doing. We will really want to put it out there that we're open to engage with you folks and welcome you to join us in the work that we're all doing. I know that was super brief and high level, but does anybody have any questions, comments?
Yeah, I mean, I can come in. So yeah, mahalo nui loa, Tamia, for presenting our action plan. Very, very excited to get it started with our amazing core team. So if you are interested in, joining a core team, or you just want to learn more about the education stream, I will be reaching out to all of you. Or if you want to reach out to me, if you want to beat me to it, you can email me. And I would love to have a conversation with you just 20 minutes of your time and just to learn more about, what you do. And we want to see how we can, Advice Hawaii can support you in your work, and, how we can both, we can collaborate with each other. So, I will be here as your point of reference or point of contact in terms of socializing or just getting to know what we're doing here at the education stream. And we really hope that we can continue this conversation with all of you. Yeah, definitely. Janice, do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, you're awesome, Kuyapo. Mahalo nui. Isn't he awesome? I'm so thrilled to have him a part of the team.
Mahalo nui. Yes, I'm super excited to have Ku'uhiapo as a resource and a super awesome organizer and helper. It's been a blessing to have him and everybody else on Janice's team on board. So right now we'd like to open it up to any of our participants. If you guys have any announcements or things that are coming up in your organizations or in the work that you do, now is an opportunity to share. And I see a hand raised. You can go ahead, Ming.
Aloha mai kako. My name is Ming Wei. And I run a small not-for-profit here on Hawaii, a Center for Getting Things Started, and we deal mainly with educating for sustainability. But today I come to you with a different hat. I'm the co-chair of the Pathway Advisory Council for CTE standards around agriculture, food, and natural resources. And I'm coming with an appeal. We have reviewed these standards and are very, very concerned. They are unfortunately not place-based. For example, under the natural resource standards, there is zero mention of ocean. And so a couple of us in the advisory council were spreading it out even more. We have asked the DOE to hang on, give us more time to really review it. And so if you're interested to help us out, we have it all organized documents, and I'm going to drop my email into the chat. Do send me an email. I will also connect with Julie, Janice, and Tamia on this. And what we're seeking is for folks like you to take a quick look. We have organized it so that it's easy to navigate and look at on the Google platform, and you can give comments. And again, our concern is that it's not very features facing. And I noticed that one of your indicators is graduating with a CTE diploma. It doesn't mention, this is food and agriculture, almost nothing in there about food security. So again, the team is very concerned. We really want to get feedback from people like you on what you not only think and feel, but from your experience, know that our young people need in order for us to become a food secure state. Conservation, so happy that Sarah is here with Kalima. I mean, the natural resource standards are, one of them is that the students know the fossil fuel resources of our state. And again, no mention of invasive species. So all these kinds of things that I'm hearing today, and I'm going, so I will drop my email in the chat. I will also reach out to you, Julie, Janice, and Tamia, with our little protocol of how we want this done. But really, I think this is a great group that can provide feedback. And if possible, we would like the feedback by middle of February, because we meet with the DOE on March 11th. So thank you very much for allowing me to make this announcement.
You're welcome, and mahalo nui for sharing that. And yeah, happy to connect with you offline to talk more in depth about that. Do I see another hand raised? Shailin, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. My name is Shailin. I am a student at UH Hilo. I am also going to be the digital literacy instructor for Hilo, and I've been helping out with Ku'uhiapo with the Kuhi Kuhi program. But I wanted to talk about an opportunity. I am conducting a research study about cultural differences within the parent, school, and teacher relationship in terms of learning life skills and preparedness for after graduation. My target audience for the results of this study is mainly curriculum development and curriculum research. So that way there is more evidence to promote life skills within within the curriculum of not just high school, but through K through 12 as well. I just wanted to put it out there. My study is primarily going to be focused on high school seniors, since they're about to graduate and enter into the workforce or into secondary education, to see if they felt that they're prepared with the life skills that they need. It's going to be I'm thinking of doing a training for these high school seniors, an hour or two, and doing a post survey, a follow-up survey a week afterwards to see if they implemented that life skill that is taught, and if it made an impact on them, that they felt a little bit more prepared. And I'm also interested in seeing how, if there's any difference between charter school and public school curriculum, as well as if CTE programs have any influence on this as well. I would love more collaboration with this project because, like I said, my target audience for the results is those focused on education and making the curriculum better and more effective for the students. So I'm going to drop my email and you can reach out to me if you have any ideas, if you have any opinions, or you would like to collaborate. Just wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
Mahalo. And yeah, please put your email in the chat so people can connect. Super awesome to see you guys, next generation of researchers and doers in our community. So mahalo for sharing. And is that Ku'uhiapa, is that her email? No. Okay, it's like you. So I think that Caroline dropped something in the chat. Caroline, would you like to say anything?
Sure. I didn't want to just take too much of everybody's time, but we do have resources that we gather, accumulate, and verify. Those are, one resource is for adults wanting to retrain themselves, and there are a lot of programs that are available online, like Salesforce is one of them. So we have a list of all these programs that are available for people. So I put that in the chat, and we also similarly have a list of all or many available resources for kids as well. So I just put that in the chat. And Jeanette from Hamakua Coast is working diligently at collating all these great programs. So I thought I would put them in the spotlight.
Thank you.
Thanks.
For that, mahalo nui. Anybody else have any updates or shout outs that they want to share with the group?
I'll just go and introduce myself. So aloha nui kako, ano ai me ke aloha o mina vidituk o inoa no hilo mai au, nakahao mana ke punio, nakiahi mana lo ku mole, o hakalau ku kahawai o lehia ku one hanau. My name is Mina Viditua Jr. I'm a Hilo born boy, proud alumni ki kula kai punio ki okaha, Navahi Oklani Opu, UH Hilo, Hawaii Community College, UH Manoa, I got my master's, urban regional planning. I am a current program coordinator for the Pacific Internship Program for Experience Sciences. And I connected with Ku'ihiapo a few weeks back about our internship program. I'm sure, I hope he disseminated my flyer to you folks, but we're actually at the closing tail end of our recruitment at the moment. We recruit Haumanas here locally, as well as on the continent who left Hawaii to go get their higher education. And we connect them with Aloha Aina agencies who are responsible for education, on the ground conservation, and just resource management in general. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to put that out there. I can also put my email in the chat. You can Google Uichilo Pipes and we'll come right up, go through the website, see what we do and see where we can support each other. I really appreciate your folks' efforts and what all you guys do, and just really looking to connect more with different folks who are involved in Aloha Aina and supporting our next generation of Aloha Aina warriors and leaders. So yeah, mahalo piha ya oko pakahi apau. Aloha.
Mahalo ya oi, Nina, and excited to have you on the call, and mahalo for sharing the opportunity. Definitely will push that out. Ku'uhiapo, if you have the flyer, can you share again with us? Mahalo. And we're just about at time. So does anybody else have anything that they'd like to share or shout out? Nope. Well, if you guys think of anything after, or feel free to connect with any of us. Feel free to make those community connections and reach out to those people that are looking for kokua if it is something that aligns to the work you folks do or you're interested in doing. Again, mahalo everybody for being with us and sharing this space and time with us this morning. Again, I'm just very excited to be on this journey with you folks this year, and looking forward to a wonderful, wonderful year with everybody. Our next meeting is going to be February 23rd, same time, same place, and I hope to see you all there. Mahalo nui kako. Ahui ho.